We are what we repeatedly do, Sean Covey. Friends, don't forget, markets are open on Veterans Day. Stock market is open, and here on Thursday, it is a booming, up 4.8+% on the S&P 500. And yes, we did see things go down from red to green, and then back to red and back to green as we move and penetrate in this one candle. We fly up and penetrate the 200 EMA on the half-day chart. What else do we have going for us as we enter into the afternoon after that crossover in the morning? And that is a crossover moving through the 200 EMA on the half-day chart. We are green on the 2-day chart. Things are moving up, but you can see we're still below the 200 EMA. So that's not working so much for us, but the weekly is actually heading up, reaching higher highs here over the last several weeks, but we're still red on the STC, so we got things going for and against us. It's a good, again, a good potential practice for you to make up your mind as to what you want to do. You have what? A positive 11 here. I'm sorry, that is not correct. You have a positive 5 here. That is that the 2-day is green and the half-day is green, but the weekly is against you, and you are pushing through the 200 EMA on that half-day chart. What do you do? Do you jump into it? Make up your mind, see how that practice trade goes or does not go based upon what you've experienced trading the S&P 500 in the past. If you don't have a lot of experience with that, then make up your mind as to what you want to do, why you want to do it, justify doing or not doing it, and then run with it and see what you learn. That's how we learn here. Experiments, do it, follow the rules, see what happens, help put your own rules together, because in the end, it's going to be you pulling the trigger on your own, making your own decisions when you jump into real money. We're not a stock calling service. We're an education firm. Let's look at what's going on the Nasdaq 100. Now, it is not crossing over the 200 EMA. It is going from red to green at the bottom. It's already, of course, the red has pushed through that center area that we always ask for it to clear. But we don't have a trigger pull here because we're still below the 200 EMA. We're looking for down moves. What's up with the 2-day? Still well below the 200 EMA, and the weekly is below the 200 EMA also, and we ended the week with a doji. Lots of indecision when it comes to the Nasdaq 100 that nonetheless for the day is up 6.45%. Bam! That is incredible movement. Did the markets like the election? Looks like it today. Looks very much like it. What's up with 20-year bonds? Well, we talked about making the decision on what to do. When do you pull the trade? Do you wait? Now, we saw what happened when you waited on gold. You got slammed. On this one, same thing. When it goes from red to green, even if it doesn't make it all the way to the bottom, what is the sharpest move typically to do where you've had a sea change in that short-term chart? And many times I pull my short-term chart at simply a green candle. Now, that would have cost you all of your potential profit, but again, very little, if any, loss. If you'd waited for the STC to go from red to green, again, would have cost you any potential benefit, maybe some loss, but minimal. If you would have held on through Wednesday morning and Wednesday afternoon, nothing happened, and then invariably as that green STC was going up, boom, we had a slam up and would have knocked you for a loop, up 3.54%. Long way to go to crossover going up on the 200 EMA. We also see the STC going positive, but again, just like the rest of all three of these charts, look how far below the 200 EMA we are. Wow. Bonds have just trashed for so long. And we look at where we are on the weekly. It is a doji for the week. Lots of indecision, even with that pull-up. And of course, even on the weekly, we're well below the 200 EMA. It's way, way up there. So that is where we are on bonds. Now, let's move on to gold and look at where we are on the half-day chart. Now, we can see where things have been going here lately on gold. We had, this chart's goofed up on me some. There we go. There we are. So we had this potential down trade, and of course it rocketed around on us. It went from red to green, then back to red, and then of course hammered up. What do you do in that regard? Well, my rule is, of course, you can jump out at any green candle. Always make sure to jump out when the STC goes to green. We went ahead and continued to play that, and you got to learn a very interesting lesson as to, again, another slam up. And gold now has penetrated the 200 EMA over the course of the day, up 2.89%. Now, that's where we are on the half day. Look at where we are on the 2-day, getting ever closer to the 200 EMA there. What about the weekly? Boom, look at that. In 1 week, it just rocketed up and through. Gold is starting to tear it up. That is so beautiful. Now, what do we want to wait for in order to get into gold? Well, we need a pullback. We need things to go from green to red and then turn around and head back up again. You can't catch it on this rise. Invariably, what will happen, you'll get it at the wrong point. It will then exhaust that move and move down, and you'll get totally blown out. So you want to wait for it to decharge and then recharge. So I guess discharge and then recharge. And that's when you want to catch it, when it goes back to red on the STC and then slams back into green. That's your opportunity. Now let's look at what's up with Bitcoin. It is hard to see it on this half-day chart after 2 days of hammering down movement, 12 to 13% down each day. Up for the day, 8.26%. What does that do for us? Not much. Bitcoin is still well below that 1820 mark where we were hoping it would hold. Well, it's now down in the $16 mark, $16.50. So very, very hard on us. Now, again, this is XBTF. This is the Bitcoin future ETF, closed month short-term future. What do we see as far as the 2-day chart goes? We can tell where it peaked and then where it's going into its second 2-day down candle, just hammering down. Not reaching the lows of the prior one yet, but still a very downer candle. Now, look at the weekly. We can see a huge wick on the bottom where it plumbed to the depths, a low of 1526. Wow, that is just a hammer down. Nonetheless, it's green on the STC. We have a red down candle, so we'll see how things continue to shake out. No trades on Bitcoin, doing nothing in the crypto market at this point. And again, when it gets ready to move around and move up, I would encourage you to look for, with us, some good practice trades. If you're interested in learning the crypto market, we give you a good opportunity to practice it with us. That is where we are, folks. Thank you so much for being with us. We always appreciate you being here, appreciate our Patreon members. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team here at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.